Herman Deal, the real deal here. Today I want to talk about a very common thing I get with lots of men when they get into my Occam's Razor Fitness program. They just get confusion because they want to invest in their health, they want to grow muscle or lose weight, usually a combination of both, lose some fat, and they start doing their own research, and what happens is there's so much conflicting information out there. So much information. Do this, do that, eat this, eat that, eat this at this time. It's just the confusion is nuts. And part of the success of my program is that I'm gonna keep things real simple. You paid me money, so you're probably gonna do what I tell you to do because you don't want to waste your money. And I'm going to keep things real simple and just do this. Keep it simple, keep going. And today I want to talk about an example of just why there's so much confusion in what we should eat. And part of this is because there's media companies out there that need to put material out every single week, different things. And I get it in a way because I do this newsletter. I have to come up with stuff to talk about every single week, the written portion and the video. But it's important to be aware of that because that's part of why there's so much superfluous, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but just a lot of stuff that doesn't relate to your health, that's not gonna get you any better, but it's just information to make it interesting, to create clickbait, to make people click on stuff. And one of the crazy things is bamboo now, and the lifelong newsletter, a newsletter that I get, that I don't believe everything they say. I believe about half of the things they say. Some of the things they say make sense, many other things don't. But this last one had that we should start eating bamboo. Bamboo. Now, I've spoken before how the panda bear has literally de-evolved, literally gone backwards because they only eat bamboo. And now some are suggesting, because there was one or a couple of research studies done, very small research done, showing that perhaps bamboo can be healthy. What? Let's take a closer look. So here we see an example of the Live Long newsletter. This first article, Aging and the Rising Interest in Ozempic Face, is a good article. It talks about how taking Ozempic can age us much faster. Definitely something I agree with, one of the side effects of taking GLP-1 drugs, among many other things. But then this article, is bamboo the superfood you haven't tried? This is just nuts that someone is promoting this bamboo as a superfood. It's just crazy information out there. There was one study done at Angelia Ruskin University, never heard of it, identified a new food with superfood potential. And then it talks about how it has a lot of fiber. Sure, it's a completely plant product. I mean, it just goes through you. There's very little nutrition at all. However, I'm glad at least it does admit raw bamboo is toxic. Always boil it or buy it pre-cooked. And while the evidence is convincing, it's not convincing for me. Large human trials are limited. I would say very limited. Key takeaway: bamboo isn't a proven superfood, yet it is fiber-filled, oxidant-rich, and inexpensive food that could support metabolism and resilience against disease. Yet, because of bamboo, as you can see in this chart, it's made the panda bear one of the smallest bears ever, and way smaller than the polar, the black bear. They have great difficulty having sex. The truth is, the panda bear would likely be extinct by now had it not been for humans conserving it. So hope that made sense. And a lot of people might argue, well, you have to cook bamboo to kill the cyanide producing chemicals, yes, but you also have to cook meat. So what's the difference? Well, there's a big difference. Meat doesn't have any animal products, or at least most animal products, they don't have toxins in them defending themselves. The animal can run or bite to escape. Vegetables don't have that ability, but they're still living, so they create chemical warfare, which is why bamboo will end up producing cyanide if you eat it raw, and you can die. But when we cook the meat, it's to make it more digestible for us. And it will kill bacteria that may have gone to the meat, but it's not a product of the meat itself. Okay, so yeah, if meat is out there rotting away, it's gonna attract bacteria, and if you eat that bacteria, you might get really sick. So cooking it is a good idea, and cooking it also makes it more absorbable, makes the protein more absorbable. The perfect example of that is eggs. If you eat a raw egg, you only get about 3 grams of protein, but when you cook it, the protein in the egg is like curled up, and when you cook it, it opens up and it becomes more bioavailable for a human being. So a cooked egg gives you 6 grams of protein, while a raw egg only gives you 3. You see, so there's a lot of advantage of cooking, but it's not like we have to cook the meat to kill stuff that it produced. No, we do have to do that with vegetables. See the difference? Big difference. And then when you look at nutrient density, oh, bamboo has this or that, it's very little compared to what meat has. Very little. Meat has way more minerals, vitamins, things that we really need. And a lot of times they'll say, well, the antioxidants in fruits and vegetables, antioxidants, it sounds all cool. Antioxidants are not that important, okay? They're not. Minerals, it's not an essential. Antioxidants aren't essential like vitamins and minerals are. It's not an essential nutrient. When you eat animal-based products, you don't need as many antioxidants, and you're getting the material to build your own antioxidant pathways within your body. There's a big difference. Remember, fatty meat also builds the body. Your body takes that fat and builds testosterone, cholesterol, all your cells, the protein for muscle. When you eat something like bamboo, you can't digest it. It goes right through you. Yeah, if you have a clogged up stomach, it might help sometimes, but it's not essential, not valuable. Yet you know, and this is maybe why it's out here, why a newsletter is saying it might be the next big, because there might be a company out there thinking, maybe General Mills, maybe one of these big food companies, they might be thinking, man, bamboo, that is so cheap. We can buy up some land for super cheap, a bamboo forest, and that is true. It's one of the reasons why the panda bear relies on bamboo almost 100%. Bamboo forests kill everything else around it. There's very little other plants and life in a bamboo forest. So if you're in a bamboo forest, you have to eat bamboo. There's a lot of it, and and that's what panda bears did. They adapted to their environment, but still it de-evolved them, made their bodies smaller and everything. But the point is, if you can buy land, bamboo, it's really cheap, and I'm sure there might be some food companies out there thinking, buy that land, sell it, we can promote it as a health thing, high fiber, some antioxidants, low calorie, it's low calorie. And we can promote it, and people are going to think it's healthy. We're going to be able to sell this like crazy. It's going to be a huge profit puppy. That's probably what's happening. That's probably why that the Live Long newsletter talks about it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But if I were a businessman, a big food company, and I was morally questionable, I didn't really care about people's health, making a food product out of bamboo from a profit standpoint would be a very smart idea. A lot of money to be made there because people are dumb. Most people don't look into nutrition or look into health. So in any case, I hope this has been helpful. Stay mindful, find what works for you, get guidance, if not from me, from someone else, and follow that guidance. Don't let yourself get distracted, because I think another problem is people get so distracted with so much information, so much nutritional confusion, that then they're like, forget it, I'm just gonna eat whatever, I give up. And I get that, that can be frustrating, but that's why sometimes you wanna find what works for you, get guidance, and do just that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next Monday again with another video, and Thursday with Mr. Skeptical. Bye.